Someone can tell me a definition of what a positive interaction is. Give me a definition.
Greeting somebody.
In the beginning of class, they were asking to give us examples of positive, fair, and negative interactions, and we all contributed to each one.
So equal respect. What are some other characteristics of a positive interaction? What was that? Friendly.
Nice tone of voice, friendly greeting, compliments actually.
They listen to you, they care, they eye contact.
Understanding, and someone who's just overall helpful, a good Samaritan.
And so what we're going to do now is actually go on the other end of the spectrum. What is a negative interaction?
Misunderstanding.
Betrayal.
We define negative interaction as unfriendly, rude, like disrespectful,
Harass, they don't have good intentions for you.
Discrimination or using racial profiling.
Not really trying to cooperate with them, not really understanding what they were saying to you, and just completely not focused at all to what they were saying at all.
All right, by a show of hands, how many of you guys agree with this definition?
I think it's cool.
After coming up with the definitions of each interaction, we decided to make a poll as to how everyone felt.
I want you to think of all the interactions you've had with police officers, either seen or personally have had, and I want you to do is give it a grade.
Positive, somewhat positive, fair, somewhat negative, and negative interactions.
How many of you would vote that your interactions in general have been positive? 1, 2, 3.
We were taking hands on who interacted with the police officer in a positive way or in a negative way. And to my surprise, we had a few of them who had good interactions with them.
I was in 4th grade and I was just walking alone in downtown. And since I was really alone, I just sat on the curb and started crying. And then a police officer approached me. Are you alright? Is everything okay?
No, I'm lost.
Oh, well, if you need help, I have to help you out.
Okay.
Come on. He was speaking to me as if a father would speak to a son, worried about something. And then he took me to his car, his car, and then he went on his little computer. So tell me, where do you live again? Oh, 5 Parker Street. But the way he spoke to me, it gave me comfort. It made me feel comfortable around him. It made me feel safe too. He escorts me into his vehicle. He sat me in the passenger seat, and he drove me home from there.
And the rest were not that good. They either got stopped by one or they felt like they were getting harassed by them.
How about somewhat negative? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. What about negative? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7.
So when I saw that there were more negative than positives, I'd say that maybe they interacted some pretty bad cops. Because the cop that I interacted with, he was fairly nice. He was nice. He was a good Samaritan. He was just there to help. But others sounded like they were harassing the other kids.
I was riding down my bike down the street, and once I turned right, there were a police car in front of me, and next thing you know, there were a black car rolling up on the next street, and then after that, the police officer right away just turned in front of the car, and I stopped, and then I stood there like, what's going on? And then next thing you know, the two police officers got out of the car, and then the cops pulled in, stopped in front of him. And then after that, they got out of the car and then they pulled up their guns. And then they tell them keep your hands up out the windows. And I thought there was gonna be a shootout, or I thought I was just confused. And then after that, one police officer came up to the car and then got one guy out, and then he kept on doing it. And then the same officer keep on pulling the people out of the car and then put them in handcuffs and just sat down on the sidewalk. They were looking at each other like, what's going on? Like, they don't know what's really going on.
Did the police officers explain what was going on?
No, they just asked them for their ID and then after that, like, I think it gets them questions. I think the two police officers stopped them for racial profiling because they look dangerous, but they actually don't. And they didn't bother searching the car. They just put him handcuffs, asked for the ID, and then search him. That's it.
That experience he witnessed was like, it wasn't really necessary.
They should just like flash their lights so they could pull over, and so they could speak to them as humans, not like if they're vicious or something, had to take them out of the car and cuff them. I don't think that was right.
How many have witnessed this or have experienced this exact scene? Raise your hand.
Like the cop doesn't need to be so aggressive on the people, so that way they don't have to feel oppressed.
We're not a thing. We're humans, so we're all the same. So do not look at us as how we look. Just look at us inside of like our personality.